And it was so hot, it lit the whole pump up, it was down there burning. So that's what happens.
Yeah.
Is it possible it could have exploded?
I gotta hold on here for a second.
Yeah.
Could've, yeah. So at the airport, they brought the trash trucks over and sprayed it down. We had to throw a bulkhead in.
Yeah.
Had two
No,
guys
that was
go to the
quick.
hospital.
Where was it? Was this exercise of the day?
I know, trying to get your
Vince
steps
made
in.
the
or-
room,
Mr. Smith.
Vince or not. It was his call.
Wasn't that who Al Zapone bought the company
What are you
from?
looking for?
Didn't Al buy it?
Vince was one of the kids.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
bought
okay.
from his father and,
Let's call this meeting to order, and we're gonna have a flag salute.
Gotcha.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. Madam Clerk, may we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Nicholas.
Here.
Councilmember Dill.
Here.
Councilmember Garrity.
here,
Councilmember Johnston. Here. Councilmember McGuigan.
Here.
Councilmember Owen.
Here.
Council President Habercorn.
Present. Also present is Administrator Frost, City Clerk Heath, City Solicitor Smith, and City Engineer Snyder. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. The agenda for this meeting is posted in City Hall on the city's website, summerspointgov.org. Pursuant to City Code A 266-8P, and to afford everyone an opportunity to address the governing body, the public may speak only one time and not to exceed 3 minutes. I'd like to pull resolution number 165 at Mr. Snyder's request. First on the agenda is a presentation from Mr. Snyder on safe routes to school. It's a public information meeting.
Thank you.
Mr. Schneider, the floor is yours.
So the city received a $771,000 grant from the Department of Transportation for safe routes to school. And part of the grant process before we submit plans for review to the DOT is we have to have a public information meeting where the public could have comments. The first, there's two main locations. The first, and I'll just put this up to the public if they want to see. The first is along the bike path from New Jersey Avenue to just past Groveland. And the proposed improvements include new crosswalks and handicap ramps from the other side of the street so that the bike path is more accessible. That's the basically the first area for the project. Like I said, it goes from New Jersey Avenue, and then a lot of the work is along Maryland and Groveland Avenue because there's no sidewalks to actually get to the bike path. So there are the ADA, concrete ramps, and crosswalks there. The second portion of the project is along West Laurel Drive. And as you know, the Jordan Road School is over there, so the city received a grant. That portion of the project includes new crosswalks and curb extensions. I did give City Council an example of what curb extensions are. Basically, at the intersection, you would narrow the roadway. West Laurel Drive is fairly wide for a typical roadway. And even though it's 25 miles per hour, traffic calming is achieved through making the roadway appear more narrow. Drivers automatically slow down when they think the road, when it looks more narrow. So what you do is you narrow the roadway to the width only required for traffic to cross at those intersections. And therefore, it should slow drivers down. Now, part of that would also include rectangular rapid flashing beacons, which we have, some places in other town, we push the button and the yellow lights flash. And it also includes some radar feedback signs so people know how fast they're actually going on the street. I know the police department does an excellent job, tracking speed of people on there, but this should hopefully help, when they're not able to be out there. They can't be out there 24 hours a day, 365 days. There's also a small portion along the Dobbs Avenue where there's not sidewalk by New Jersey American, that's also included in this project. But that's pretty much the scope of it. If anyone or members of the city council have any questions, or if the public does.
Mr. Schneider, this is just a generic
That's just a
picture,
general concept.
but this is the concept you want to put on Laurel Drive?
Yes.
And you called this the narrowing of the street.
Yeah, that's traffic calming, curb extensions.
As a driver, we call that a bottleneck. But this is just the 2 lanes. You're not shortening or squeezing the room for the cars to pass, just the,
No, for the actual travel lanes, they're not getting any smaller.
okay.
It'd be actually the shoulder area, the between area.
And this is a proven
It is.
and effective method. Thank you.
It's like accidents to me.
Right, another comment?
Does anyone have any comments for Mr. Snyder, other than Mr. McGuigan's? Not hearing any.
Okay.
All right,
Well, that's
thank you.
fine.
Thank you, Greg.
You don't need to open that to the public, or?
Does anybody from the public have any comments about what Mr. Schneider just presented? Not seeing any? We'll move on to the next part of the agenda. Thank you. All right, I'm going to move resolution number 154 to the top of the agenda. May I have a motion to open up for public comment for resolution number 154 only?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, we are now open for public session on resolution number 154 only. May I have a motion to close the public
So
session?
moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, we are now closed for public session on resolution number 154 only. Madam Clerk?
Resolution number 154 of 2025, honoring Eagle Scout Carson Endicott. Whereas Carson Endicott has lived in Summers Point, New Jersey his entire life, began his scouting journey at the age of 6, and is now a proud graduate of Mainland Regional High School. And whereas Scouting America empowers the next generation through transformative programs that instill confidence, independence, and a deep dedication to serving others. And whereas Carson Endicott, a dedicated member of Troop 94 of the Jersey Shore Council, has distinguished himself through his exceptional commitment to the values of Scouting America and has earned the highest honor a scout can achieve, the prestigious Eagle Scout Award. And whereas the Eagle Scout Award is a lifelong distinction symbolizing outstanding leadership, perseverance, and service, qualities that will continue to inspire others and serve as a testament to Carson's character. And whereas Carson raised over $15,000 in funds and secured more than $10,000 in supply donations to complete a spectacular enhancement to the Richard Summers Memorial Park for his Eagle Scout project, collaborating with the Summers Point Historical Society to honor the country's greatest naval war hero and the city's favorite son, Richard Summers. And whereas Carson, in conjunction with Troop 94, planned all aspects of the project and supervised fellow scouts and volunteers to bring this beautiful project to completion, one of the many critical steps in his pursuit of the Eagle Scout rank, the highest achievement in Scouting America. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and city council of Summers Point extend their heartfelt congratulations to Carson Endicott for his remarkable achievement and express their sincere gratitude for his dedication, leadership, and positive influence on the youth of our community. Be it further resolved that the mayor and city council of Summers Point thank Troop 94 of the Southern Shore District of the Jersey Shore Council, Scouting America, for their support of Carson and their valuable contributions to his project.
May I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments?
Thank you, Mr. President. Carson, congratulations on you completing all this work. You should be very proud of yourself, as I'm sure the rest of the council and myself are very proud of you. It's a wonderful start, and you have a very bright future in front of you. I just want to note, we've had a lot of talk about people that invest in this community and so forth. Those two people sitting behind you have clearly invested in this community and invested in you. And when we talk about investments, we talk about the return on investments. And clearly, they're getting a return on investment by producing such a fine young gentleman like yourself. And obviously, we're going to hear from the next Endicott. So they're doing something right. And we're very fortunate that they're in this community because they do a lot of things right for this community and for their family. So congratulations, Carson. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I would just like to relay a message from the Summers Point Historical Society. It was our honor to be involved in this project, and it was great working with you, and we're looking forward to working with you in the future, and came out great. You did a good job, so.
Any other comments? I just have a comment. I was
They
reading
covered it.
something the other day where only 4% of scouts attain the level of Eagle Scout. And Carson, that's a great achievement, and we had 2 meetings ago, our last meeting, so we've had 2 in a matter of a month here that have been able to accomplish it. I think that speaks volumes for the town and for the program here, so thank you very much. Anybody else with any comments? If not, I need to know, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nobody's opposed, that's good. Resolution number 154 is approved, and we have a presentation for Carson. It's actually what Shelby read, but we also have one from the Great Egg Harbor River Council recognizing the work you did. Mr. Gregory was going to be here to do it tonight, but he's unable to attend, so we're going to present you with both. So if you'd like to come up, Mr. McGuigan, if you'd like to help me present this, I would appreciate it.
Sure. Where's the mayor?
He's not here. He's got other engagements. It's his 42nd wedding anniversary, so.
That's what it was.
Oh,
That's what it was. I should have remembered that.
that's right, that's right.
I knew it was something.
Carson. Oh. I don't know.
Thank you. I know you do, and I love it too, Mr. McGuigan. All right, so let's move to special presentations, and let's stay with the Endicott family. Eli, come on up. Greg, did you take down the stand already? Okay, that's fine.
Do you think you're the only one that does presentations?
Sorry, Greg.
Anyone made a trip?
Go ahead, Eli.
Today, I am here to ask for your guys' approval for my Eagle Scout project, which it is an add-on to the project that was done before, which I'm going to be adding a paver pathway to the handicap accessible ramp. I'm also going to be repainting this wall and then cleaning the brush and all that and like retrimming it, and then I'm going to be adding huge planters like with flowers, everything to make it look more pleasantly appealing, and then also going to add drip irrigation to them so they can stay watered, because how hot it gets over there. And then to add a native tree to New Jersey, so we have more shade. And then depending on how much money I raise, an add-on would be to add a gazebo there if there's enough room and everything, and if I raise enough money.
Next to the library.
You guys, you're impressive, huh?
Richard Summers Park.
Is there a source, is there already irrigation there, general,
No,
lawn irrigation? So where would the source of water come from?
the building.
Okay. And you've mapped all that out, or it's to be done yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
The mechanical room is right on the other side of that wall there.
We'll be able to get out?
Yeah. Yeah, just a
Okay.
big hammer, break a hole.
There's an
Wait.
electric, railroad electric comes out from that same spot.
Okay.
There's a hose bib right there.
Looks good to me, I don't, you know.
I think it's fantastic,
Are
yeah.
you going to, as your brother did, are you going to coordinate that with our dear friends at the Historical Society?
Yes.
Yeah, it's already in operation.
Okay.
Walt Gregory's in charge of that. No.
Is there any coordination that has to be done with Public Works or anything like that? No? Should be okay?
Yeah.
All right.
That's the good news, they do all the work. so.
You know.
Absolutely.
Anybody have a sign up?
will be the first person to donate. just so you know.
Will this project, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I didn't get a brick in the last
Wow.
thing.
Yes, this project will have.
Opportunity to get a brick here?
Yes, there
Everybody
will,
in the
for the
Historical
pathway.
Society
Yeah,
for the brick,
you're gonna have to.
including the Historical Society.
I'm on a fixed
Did you?
income.
All right. So
Yeah, this
I guess
one
we'll
will
take
have bricks.
a straw vote to make sure we're all in agreement to go ahead with this. Mr. Gary,
Yeah,
good to go? Mr. Owen?
absolutely.
You good
Yes,
with this?
100%, yep.
Mr. McGuigan?
Yes.
Mr. Dill?
Yes, absolutely.
Ms. Johnston?
Yes.
Mr. DePena?
Yes.
All right, we got a unanimous, because I'm for it too.
Thank you so much.
Keep going. Thank you. All right, moving right along. Anyone have any communications? Not hearing any, and the mayor's not here, but I am going to just talk a little bit about something that happened this week here in City Council chambers. On Monday, we had a cyber presentation that was put on. We had about 30 people attend. It was well-received. And I'd like to thank June Burns, one of our county commissioners, for putting it together. It was well done. We had the chief of police, the sheriff, we had the county clerk, and the surrogate here. So we had a good sharing, a lot of questions, and people were happy with it. The mayor was also here. Administrator's report, Jason.
Yeah, nothing this evening. I have something for old business later, but nothing to report right now.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Smith?
I have nothing to see.
Mr. Snyder?
Just one item, the Shore Road project, the pedestrian improvements is continuing. Now that school has been let out, because we don't want to interfere with any more of the restaurants along Shore Road. After this week, we're moving over towards, starting at Ocean Avenue between Ocean and Dawes. They'll be working to take advantage that the school's, closed for the summer, so it makes sense to move operations back over there.
How long will that project take over there? Do you-
Well, we're going all the way down Shore Road, so it's going to be in phases.
Okay.
From there, they're going to keep going down southbound. And
So-
then the plan is obviously there's some improvements at Harbor Lane and Bethel at Shore Road before school also because of the St. Joe's schools.
Okay. All right, is that it?
That's it.
Any committee reports?
Council
Council
President?
President,
Mr. Dell?
okay. Just a report on the planning board. Last Wednesday, we met, and the planning board approved a bank, Chase Bank, for the, to be located in the Summers Point Shopping Center. That's for people, for the public. It's in the Summers Point Shopping Center, close to the Acme, and that was approved unanimously by the board.
Thank you. Mr. Owen?
Yes, Council President, the Summers Point Arts Commission, we met this past Monday night. We had a special guest come in. His name was Eduardo Jimenez. He was introduced by Shana as our special guest for the evening. He'll be doing, in August 9th, he'll be doing a workshop called Recycled Tides. Eduardo gave a brief bio, showed examples of his work. He explained how he got started collecting trash, and especially Mylar balloons that washed up on the beach in Brigantine. He's from Brigantine. He even uses recycled wood to make all his frames as well as recycled cardboard for the backing for his artwork. So it was really amazing, everything that he brought to the table, and we're looking forward to having him. Probably the only thing that wasn't recycled was probably just a little bit of Elmer's glue to make everything come together in his artwork. Secondly, coming up next month, County Park, there's going to be a mosaic flower pots that's going to be basically Ginny, trying to think of the last name. Anyway, Swift. Shout out to Jenny Swift. She's going to be basically teaching the course, putting together flower pots with mosaic artwork on it. It's also going to include lunch. I believe it's $30, but more will be coming out, forthcoming in the media, and that's July 12th.
Thank you. Any other committee reports?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir, Mr. Gary.
Last night, EDAC met. Chuck Westcott is back as chairman. We discussed the Garvey races, which are this Sunday, 10 to 3 o'clock. We'll be down there. We discussed that if the Garvey races are going to be successful and move forward, we have to start like a year in advance doing this stuff, because trying to put things together in 2 months is not enough. So what we're going to need from them is, after their successful Sunday, is a commitment that they're coming back next year, and then start putting the pieces together on working it into. We decided that probably get some of the marinas involved, do a mini boat show, seafood fest type thing. Years ago, we did a chowder contest down there and stuff, incorporate a few things to appeal to families to add into the racing, and see if we can develop that into an event. So that was what EDAC discussed they were going to do last night. They also talked about the property on Route 9 and 559. Max is the head of that committee, along with John Helbig, and they were reaching out to someone that Max knows, that it's an environmental expert, to interpret the reports that we have and give a better understanding to us as to what the hurdles are with that property. So.
Great, thank you. Any other committee reports? Okay, not hearing any other committee reports. May I get a motion for the approval of the minutes from the June 12th, 2025 meeting?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Not hearing any comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. The above-mentioned meeting minutes are approved. We move on to ordinances. We have one ordinance tonight, which is a second reading. Madam Clerk?
Ordinance number 14 of 2025, an ordinance fixing the salaries, wages, and compensation of the officers and employees of the City of Summers Point, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey.
May I have a motion to open up for the public on ordinance number 14?
So moved.
May I have a
Second.
second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. We're now open for public comment on ordinance number 14.
Motion to close the public portion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, and we're now closed on ordinance number 14 for public comment. May I have a motion to adopt?
How about a comment?
Oh, I haven't gotten that far, but that's okay. Go ahead,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, sir.
I just want to note that this will be the 18th year in a row that I vote for an ordinance that doesn't include a raise for myself.
Well,
Thank you.
aren't you special?
Okay. May I have a motion to adopt?
I'll make that
May
motion.
I have a second?
Second.
Any comments other than what Mr. McGuigan made? No, we're not hearing any comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Ordinance number 14 is adopted. Now I'd like to have a motion to open up for public comment on resolutions only. I have a motion, please.
So moved.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. We are now open for public comment on resolutions only. May I have a motion to close public comment?
Motion to close public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. We are now closed for public comment on resolutions. Madam Clerk, number 155, please.
Resolution number 155 of 2025, resolution establishing salaries for non-contractual employees of the City of Summers Point for 2025.
I have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I have a second.
Second.
Any comments? Not hearing any comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Resolution number 155 is now approved. Number 156.
Resolution number 156 of 2025, employee advancement of Stephen Hornick.
May I have a motion?
So
I'll make,
moved.
second.
Any comments?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Mr. McGuigan.
one of my favorite employees. Thank you.
Is that your only comment?
Aye.
Anybody else have any comment?
We are lucky to have Steve.
Mr. Dill?
I can't say enough for what the dedication Steve gives to the city. He's not only involved as an employee, but he's involved in many other parts of the city and committees, and I thank you for what you do for the city all in general.
Yeah, Council President.
Yes, Mr. Ellis?
Yes, Stephen's always there to answer the call whenever things happen here in town and making sure everything flows downhill, which I really appreciate here in town. Knowing all the lift stations that we have here in town, and especially as well as volunteerism, here in town with all that you do. We appreciate it.
Mr. Garrity?
Long overdue. And congratulations if we vote for it. But you deserve it. One of the best that I've had the pleasure of working with. So.
Anybody else? Not anybody else? Steve? Always a pleasure to work with you. Thank you for all you do. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Resolution number 156 is approved. Number 157, please.
Resolution number 157 of 2025, employee advancement of Amanda Forshaw.
May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Not hearing-
Mandy has a lot of positive and strong energy. She's a pleasure to be around.
Any other comments? Not hearing any other comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Resolution number 157 is approved. Number 158, please.
Resolution number 158 of 2025, employee advancement of Brianna McNair.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any comments?
Very hardworking and dedicated employee, one of the hardest working employees we have.
When I walk downstairs most days, Brianna's always there with a smile on her face, doing her job and sitting at her desk and getting it done. Anybody else? Not hearing any comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Resolution number 158 is approved. Number 159.
Resolution number 159 of 2025, employee advancement of Maureen DeWeese.
I have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I have a second.
Second.
Any comments?
Yeah, Council President, I've had many opportunities because of her being the Secretary in Public Works to deal with her and to try to get things accomplished. And she's very hardworking and a long-term employee, and it's well-deserved.
Any other comments?
Very dedicated and like Mr. Dill said, very loyal employee. Glad to have him.
Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Resolution number 159 is approved. Let's see, number 160, I'm sorry. 160.
Resolution number 160 of 2025, acknowledging and approving the hiring of a full-time laborer, namely Julian Ocasio.
Have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments?
You, Council President, for public knowledge, this is not a new hire. This is an advancement of a part-time employee to full-time, and it's well-deserved. He's motivated, and we should have so many employees as motivated as a part-time employee who wanted to be full-time in the city.
Any other comments? Not hearing any comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Number 160 is approved. Number 161.
Resolution number 161 of 2025, resolution of the Council of the City of Summers Point endorsing the housing element and fair share plan adopted by the Summers Point Planning Board.
Have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Have a second.
Second.
Comments, I'd like to thank Tim Canaran, who's here today. He's from Colliers Engineering and Design. He's their regional discipline leader and has put a lot of work in with his staff, as well as our affordable housing attorney, to come up with a comprehensive plan. There wasn't any questions during the public, so I didn't bring up Tim, and you did present previously to the planning board, and I think it was well received by the planning board. One comment that was made at the end was that it was one of the most comprehensive reports that they've ever seen. And Mr. Dill, you were part of that meeting, so would you like to share a comment?
Yeah, I would just like to thank Tim for all his hard work in putting a very difficult understanding of fair share housing into a perspective. I think that, I know at least the planning board, and I'm sure council is much better off understanding what's going on and where we stand. And Tim, I just want to thank you for all your efforts.
Any other comments?
By the way, the planning board adopted it unanimously. Sorry about that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, I'm sorry. I have to do a roll call.
Indicate your approval of the plan as proposed.
You did tell me that, Mr. Smith. I'm sorry. So can we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Councilmember Johnston.
Yes. I
Councilmember
approve.
Owen.
As written, I approve of the
Just please
plan
clarify,
and,
Again, one more time.
please clarify your voting to endorse it, but also based upon the report as that has been written and adopted.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Just state your approval of it.
I-
We need to confirm the action of that you're supporting the action of the planning board as it was already taken.
okay. Yes, I'm a yes. I support the, as written, and especially the part about the Summers Point Apartments. It's long overdue, so thank you for that. Okay.
Next.
Councilmember Owen.
Yes, as written, as supported. Appreciate it.
Councilmember DePamphlis.
Yes, as adopted.
Councilmember Garrity.
Yes, as reported.
Councilmember McGuigan.
Yes, it's difficult to articulate how wonderful this is for the city, and I agree with the planning board's approval of it, and again, I congratulate the professionals that worked on this, Mr. Kernan, as well as Mr. Edwards and Mr. Olson. Thank you, and Ms. Green. Thank you.
Councilmember Dill.
Yes, as written and approved by the planning board.
Council President Habercorn.
Yes, as approved by the planning board and as written. All right, so that's approved. 162?
163.
163?
Resolution number 163 of 2025, authorizing executive session, advice of counsel and attorney-client privilege communication regarding the potential contract between the City of Summers Point and the MOX 5 relative to inventory and computer records.
May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Not hearing any comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution number 163 is approved. We'll go back.
Are we not doing 162?
We are.
Oh, okay.
Just,
Sorry.
A little out of order in the paperwork.
Oh, okay,
So we're going backwards on this one.
okay.
Resolution 162 of 2025, authorizing a contract for AEDs to be installed and maintained by Cintas Corporation.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second,
Any comments?
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
The plan is to have one of these installed in each of our recreation facilities. So if you see me lay on the ground, you can grab one. Thank you.
This has been a little
give
bit
you
in the
mouth to
works
mouth.
here. Over a year ago, there was some work that started on this to put together what's the best ones to purchase and how to go about purchasing them. We got some input from the rec board through people reaching out from the community to the rec board. So this is a response to a need that's now going to be taken care of. Any other comments?
Yeah, Council President.
Yes.
Like they say in first aid and AED class, every second counts, so this is really a plus. You know, for one comes down to saving somebody's life, whether it's on the ball field or, you know, somewhere within the recreational area.
Any other comments? Not hearing any other comments. All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Resolution number 162 is approved. Okay, we did 163, so let's move on. And I need a motion and a second for the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments?
Just a note, you took 165 out of that.
Yes, 165 was taken out at the beginning of the meeting at Mr. Snyder's request. Any other comments? Not hearing any other comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. The consent agenda is approved. Old business. We have some old business on here. Mr. Frost, you had made reference to this in your report. Did you wanted to talk about this?
Yes, at the last meeting, resolutions 148 and 149, relative to the shared service agreement with Callaway. Pursuant to a conversation between myself, the business administrator Callaway, and a representative from the DCA, those agreements will have to be amended to be for 4 years, not 2. That's for NJSA 40A 65-1. Unbeknownst to the business administrator in Galway and myself, they're not allowed to be 2 years, they have to be for 4 years. We do have termination clauses in both of those, so it's really not an issue. And the way the resolutions were written does give us the flexibility to change those agreements.
Okay. Thank you. Any other old business? Not hearing any old business. Anyone have any new business? Not hearing any new business. Mr. Frost, you're up again.
Sure. This evening, we have a bill list in the amount of $151,669.60.
Okay. All right, we're going to open up, I need a motion to open up for public portion, please.
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. We are now open for public session. Come on up. Yeah, we need you to state your name and your address, and Mr. Smith is handing out your handout at this
Thank
time.
you. Hello, everybody. My name is Steve Hankin. I'm an ancient Atlantic City attorney, very ancient as not as ancient as Mr. Smith, but I'm here tonight on behalf of Gary Holloway, the owner of the Point, here in Summers Point.
Do we get one?
I'm here with Ed Bonsignor, who is the operating partner and person who's present every night at the Point when it's open. Gary himself was to be here tonight. His wife yesterday had emergency surgery at Paoli Hospital, and for those of us that are married, we understand why he's not here. He's home with his wife, and understandably so. I'm certain you understand that priority. My purpose, Gary's purpose, in asking me to comment, I appreciate the opportunity to do this within 3 or 4 minutes if I can. And being here is to appeal to your sense of fairness in our attempt to resolve our difficulty with the present noise ordinance that Summers Point has had, and has had before any of you served here. You didn't pass this. This is been in effect for some time, prohibiting any form of outside music, no matter the level, no matter how loud or how silent it may be after 11 p.m. We don't want to litigate with the city. That's the last damn thing we want to do. That's a waste of Gary's money. It's a waste of the city's money, in our opinion. Gary wants me to express to you that he wants to be a good citizen. He's tried to be. He has a respectable place of business, and he wants to simply be treated on a fair playing field. And he doesn't think he is, not due to the city, but just the way the ordinance works out. Not that it's aimed at him. We're not saying that. Frankly, since 2004, when Gary first took over and had the point, he's had it since then under various restaurant names. He's operated, rightfully or wrongfully, with music being played till 2 a.m. in the morning. He's tried to be a good partner with Summers Point. He's paid his taxes. He's various contributions to the city. He's hired a lot of local residents, and he wants to continue to operate. He's not asking for a modification of your ordinance to 2 p.m. It's our understanding, again, though, I want to focus on the ordinance the way it is. Mr. Smith can correct me, as he often does, and he's right usually when he does correct me. As it now stands, no matter the level of noise, it could be very soft music. It could be heard 5 feet away or 10 feet away. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be disturbing. It can be electronic. Any music that's played, any speaker that's outside after 11 p.m.
Sorry, I need you to kind of wrap it up here, unless Tom?
No,
Okay,
I would like to
Okay.
hear
Very,
this.
very brief, sir.
that's,
I'm sorry.
that's fine.
I would like to,
Any music after,
Okay. Go ahead.
thank you, after 11 p.m. is flatly prohibited under your ordinance, while music generated inside a restaurant with a license, the doors could be open, it can be heard louder than the outside music, is allowed to play that music until 2 o'clock in the morning when they close. Now, I understand, and I may be wrong, that the city may be willing, there's been some discussion, I understand, to modify your ordinance to allow music to be played outside till midnight every night. Gary doesn't need midnight. He doesn't care about midnight, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. He's not looking to prostitute himself with the city. He needs it only on Friday and Saturday night till 1 a.m. within legal limits. And, of course, on the 3 holiday weekends. I think I passed out a little calendar of next year to give you an idea. It amounts to, I think, 17 or 18 weekends and the 3 holiday weekends. That's it. That's all he asked for. He does, again, if you're willing to give him till midnight, he doesn't need that. He's not asking for more. He's not asking for 2 a.m. like others that can play outside music, that can be heard outside as long as the speaker is inside till 2 o'clock. The times, you may be saying to yourself, well, why are you here? Why is there litigation over 1 hour? Why wouldn't you be willing to say? It's difficult to understand, but today, the times are a lot different. The difference in his ability to do business in that extra hour is very important, or I wouldn't be here tonight. There wouldn't be any challenge to the ordinance. Kids today and young adults, and he has a lot of young adults in their 30s and 40s. You know, I'm in bed at 6:30, but they're just getting a shower at about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and they're out at 10 and 11 o'clock. And that extra hour means a lot to him. It allows his business to survive. And so that's what we're asking for. Making the ordinance more unfair is the fact that the point is not in a residence zone. The use is permitted, and it's not next to any homes, non-conforming homes. It's not next to any of that. Ed is here. He's there every night the point is open to make sure that music, and we've had some issues in the last couple of years, but Ed is there now every night to make sure the music is not disturbing. So I would ask you in your future deliberations, so we can hopefully get rid of this litigation, to think about amending the ordinance to allow us to stay open, as I said, Friday and Saturday night on the weekends, and it's only a seasonal operation here. It's all outside, except for the little tiki hut. And to allow the service, the music to play until 1 on Friday and Saturday and the 3 weekends. And I'm sorry that I went over, but I appreciate it.
That's okay.
And I'm sure Tom will be in touch. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bill, you coming up?
Good evening, Bill Collins, 814 Bay Avenue. Just want to do a follow-up on the boat ramps. I stood in front of council 2 other times when the ordinance were coming up, second reading and so forth. Just want to tell you, it's not working the way it's laid out. Just want to give you some insight to some local fishermen that I spoke to over the last couple of weeks, going back to Memorial Day, and got their take on what's going on at the boat ramp. First guy I talked to, Memorial Day, May 26th, he was in a John boat.
You want to, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Collins, but you want to identify the people so that it has sort of an effect?
If I had their names, I don't have their name, other than they owned a John boat.
Okay.
And I asked them about, I just introduced myself. I said, what, how's fishing? I go from that to the other thing. And I said, well, what about the launch permit? Oh, you don't need one. No one checks. It's free. Next guy, on June the 6th, 4:30, 2 guys in a pontoon boat. I asked them the same thing about fishing. Asked if I needed any kind of permit to park. One guy responded, I think so. It's online. You can get a 1-day pass for $10, which is reasonable. But he didn't get one. Of course he didn't, because they're not available. At that time, there was 7 trailers in the lot. 1 had a permit sticker. Wednesday, June 11th, 1 boater at the ramp in a Mako boat said it was a public dock. They haven't charged in years. Another boater said they didn't charge last year, and the gates were up. Then they took the gates down and removed the fee. That was at 11:30. There were 9 trailers on the lot, 0 permits. Thursday, June 12th, 12:10, 16 trailers on the lot, 0 with permits. On Father's Day, it was cold and overcast, 3:40 in the afternoon. The only reason I stopped there because I saw a police car. So there was 2 cars on the lot. One was Pennsylvania, one was New Jersey. Pennsy tag didn't have a sticker. So I'm waiting to see if the officer would get out of the car and ticket them or give them a summons. Nothing. So there's no enforcement there. So it's a real problem. People don't think you need a permit. The gates are up. They think it's free. Don't take my word for it. You go down there and talk to them. And if anybody wants to see photographs of the trailers without the stickers, I have them on my phone. Happy to share it with you. The sign's too small. It's not in a conspicuous location. We got to do a better job there. We talked about spending $152,000 on this process, and we let it go by the wayside. It can be very, 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 very profitable if somebody wants to get involved to make this thing happen. Like I said before, if you take the boats from Broadway all the way down to Launch Avenue, there's over 1,000 boats to put in the beginning of the season, $10, and they come out at the end. So we already lost the beginning of the season, but you don't have to lose the back end of it. Boaters and trailer versus seasonal, whole different opportunity where the money comes in. That's just a cash cow. Does anybody know what the current collection rate is, or how much we've taken in? Is there anybody on council that's directly responsible for the boat ramp?
I'll just make a comment if I may.
Sure.
Please.
We're issuing summonses, and you don't need to necessarily get out of the vehicle to write a summons. That could be mailed directly to the individual. So I'll just make that comment.
Okay, thank you for that. Just
And
listen.
we do
Thank
have
you.
summonses, because I sat in the municipal court today to go over how we're modifying the billing of this.
Then I would ask the next thing, how many tickets have been issued?
It's not- You interrupt me, I stop. I'm done with the over.
Okay, fine.
You ask a question, I'm responding to it.
Okay. You know, it's disheartening. There's such an opportunity there. But again, let me go on. Okay, the stickers are limited to when you can purchase them, Monday through Friday, no weekends. We don't even go out of our way to cover the machines to protect them against assault air. I'll make a comment that one of the council members made before.
3 minutes.
Okay, it's irresponsible. And let me just finish with this. The city website needs to be updated. It still says seasonal fees. Then it says yearly passes available. Nothing about a daily pass. So I think you need to look at it, and I'd appreciate if somebody could get back to me about who's in charge up there, and let's have a conversation, because we don't have to give away the season. And we don't have to have a conversation next year and say, hey, we're losing money. We're not losing money. There's a great opportunity out there.
Okay, thank you very much for your
Thank you.
comment.
Thank you so much.
Motion to close public, oh,
Oh, we got somebody.
sorry, Levi, I didn't see you back there.
Not at all, I'm not in my normal attire.
I know.
I will set my timer.
Thank you, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Of course.
You're going to state your name and address too, right?
I will read what is ever on my sheet, so let's hope earlier made it, yeah. Good evening, council members. My name is Levi Fox, and I continue to live at 90 Broadway. As many of you know, I wear lots of hats as a public historian, including that of a local small business owner, Jersey Shore Tours, and a longtime vice chair of the Historic Preservation Commission, which I thought this was a good representation of the hat that I often wear to those meetings. One of the hats I'm proudest to wear is the one that I have on right now as part of my teacher outfit at Immaculata University, where I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Civic Engagement. That is why I was so excited yesterday to learn that I had in fact qualified to run in the fall election for council, since I believe that in a democracy, voters always deserve a choice. I've also learned over the last year that there are many residents of Somers Point who do not feel their cries are being heard by the current council. So I aim to also give them a voice. To that end, beyond the yard sign saying, Levi Fox, the choice that hears your voice, I look forward over the next few months to bring up issues that I feel council should focus on. One such issue that I know several council members have expressed interest in previously is the question of how to prevent locals from being priced out of their homes by rising rents. Indeed, as I recall from the super fun public policy engagement debate that we had in this very room just a couple weeks ago when we were talking about short-term rentals, one of the arguments that was articulated in favor of extending stays to 7 days was the impact on other rental prices. I therefore want to urge council to pursue an idea suggested last fall to create a committee to study how the city might implement reasonable rent control throughout Somers Point. I myself might suggest something like a 5% increase cap per year, as other cities throughout New Jersey have done approximately. But I certainly defer to the council as to the specifics that'll make sense for our community. I will instead try to focus on trying out some other hats to make this campaign as fun as it can possibly be, and to draw attention to politics. So to that end, I thank you all. And I'll leave the last 18 seconds to someone else.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Go on, Matt.
Matt Weatherly. I just wanted to thank council for the AEDs. I was part of the rec board and also street hockey. It was a big thing that insurance they were looking for. So I just wanted to thank city council for getting AEDs for us. And thanks for approving my son's project today. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Council President, while Mr. Endicott was up, I donated to Carson's project. I don't want to discriminate against his younger brother, so therefore, your older brother, younger brother? Younger, that's right. I thought I was right the first time, but the look on your face. I'd like to donate $100 to his project.
There you go, wow. All right. Anybody else have any public comments? Come on up, sir.
In the past 7 months, I've been taking my wife to cardiac rehab on Shore Road. And I come down Pennsylvania. My name's Jim Oswald, 500 Pennsylvania Avenue. And one of the things I've been noticing, and I saw it today taking her to cardiac rehab, is at the bike trail, when you bring that up, when you're heading, let's say, west, away from the Shore Road, on Pennsylvania Avenue, you hit the bike trail, you see a stop sign. And it was only recently, well, I shouldn't say recently, but when you go there, you see a stop sign, but before you hit the stop sign, there's a bike path. And I just saw kids this morning, and, you know, I edged up very, very slowly because they were coming down. And of course, they didn't stop. But I think that's a very, I don't know if there's anything when you're doing your Safe Roads to School, if there's something could be done on that, because I think I've seen it many, many times, and people walking, but walking is one thing, but when you see the bikes coming past, I'm not the engineer, I have no idea what to do, but while you're doing crosswalks and what have you, I think that's, you know, I ride bikes on the bike path many times, but that's a really dangerous area, because when you're heading west, you look to your left, you can't see a doggone thing. Maybe you could cut some, I don't know what it is, I don't know if it's private, but just something to take into consideration. So I think it's a danger to the people riding on the bike trail. There's no easy result to this, but just take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Motion to close the public portion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Not hearing any opposed, we now close the public session. Payments of the bills, may I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Comments from the governing body? I do have one I'd like to make. It's kind of along your lines with the bicycle safety right now. Schools are closed. There's more bicyclists out all day long, coming up and down. I ask that bicyclists follow the rules, wear the proper gear, as well as the drivers of vehicles, to make sure we are staying at the speed limits and following all stop signs and coming to a complete stop. It is a public safety issue. I saw that back there pointing to your son. It is a public safety issue, and I just want to call it to everybody's attention, because I am hearing a lot of comments about the bicycle safety and the scooter safety and wearing the helmets and all that from the public. So I'm just going to make the public plea that please follow the rules so we all can enjoy the summer. We don't want to have to hear what we're hearing about in some other areas where these accidents are occurring, so please, get the word out. Any other comments for the governing body? Not hearing any of those. Okay, we're going to go into executive session. We're going to take a brief break, then we'll go into executive session. I don't believe we're going to take any action coming out. I appreciate everybody coming out.